Can you grab information from another worksheet into your current worksheet? I'm going to explain whether you can or you cannot. 3 ways to improving how you reference Excel worksheets. Brad Williams, Excel Prime, section 912. 3 ways to improve how you reference Excel worksheets. This is a fairly straightforward and simple process. Let's say you have multiple worksheets open. Here we have a wholesale sheet, we have a retail sheet, and then we have a price difference. What we want to do is look at the price, ignore the numbers. So this is simply an example. You're going to see a price difference here, and then you're going to have a retail price and a wholesale price, and perhaps the retail price is going to be lower than the wholesale price, but maybe it's just an old item and we're just trying to dump it. You can reference directly the wholesale from the price difference. So here we have price difference. We have the same layout in each worksheet. All you do is go equal, and we'll just go to wholesale and hit the hat price in D3. And here we are in D3, and we have a price wholesale D3. How do you read this? It's reading wholesale and D3. Now, if we want to subtract the retail price minus retail, you can see that we have a retail sheet. This doesn't make sense, so we want to go equals retail price, go to retail, go 15, hit the minus sign, and then just go to wholesale. We're seeing retail D3 minus wholesale D3. Copy down, go to cell D4 in price difference, copy down, or just highlight the area. You can grab this plus sign. I'm so used to just hitting Control D. It does the same thing. You can also go up to the fill down feature. But there you go. That's a simple cell reference. You can also do this with workbooks. You could also do this with other options. Let's do this. So why don't we go hit Control N? And this is book 1. Let's just go 5, 6, 8, 9. And it really doesn't mean anything. What I want to do now is just go back to the worksheet, which is 3 ways to improve how you reference Excel worksheets. Why don't we look at just a reference? So we want to go equals, go to book 1 equals this number. And you can see now we have a reference to book 1, sheet 1. And how do we read this? Go to book 1. So here we have book 1 up at the title. You can rename this to anything you want. And here we are, sheet 1. But if we want to change this, you just hit rename, go to the worksheet tab at the bottom, right click your mouse, hit rename, call this new worksheet reference. Now remember, we have up to 31 characters in the tab name. And if you want to change the color, right click tab and just put green. And now you have new worksheet reference. Go back to your original worksheet, hit F9. You can see book 1. Remember, book 1 up here. And we have a worksheet reference. And that shows up here as book 1, new reference, C3. What's this reference here? $C3. Excel automatically will do that, and that may be good or bad. Just keep that in mind when you do references. Excel will automatically default to absolute. You can do normal formula calculations. You can add references. So let's add a reference. Let's go book 13 plus, and let's go sum, parentheses. Let's just add that information. We just did sum. All we did was we took that number 5 plus this reference. We can copy this down, Control D, and you can see the reference hasn't changed. We can just delete the sum. And let's say we want something from the wholesale section. I just put a plus sign, go to wholesale, hit 13. The way it reads is whatever is in cell C3 in the new worksheet reference plus the wholesale D3, which is 13. You can play around with any variation you want. You can add, I think, up to 60 references. It may be a bigger number now, but there is a quick overview of cell references and how to add and subtract or to include functions. Now, let me point out one other thing here. Because we are referencing another workbook, if we close this, now keep in mind, this has not been saved yet. If you close this as a non-saved book, well, let's close it. Don't save. F9, hit F9. See what happens here? This is wrong. Be sure to check out our extensive courses, which include Excel data and text manipulation for advanced users, beginners, intermediate. We also have this great essentials, the A to Z for advanced users, the comprehensive beginner level 1 and 2. Then we have our advanced formulas, strictly formulas, great set of courses, which we have a beginner level 1 and beginner level 2, this intermediate level, and we have this advanced level. Click on any of the links. There's a short video that explains everything about the course. Check it out, because there's no such thing as book 1 new workbook. Hit F9 again. F9 is to recalculate. So that's something to be concerned to address. And let me point this out. This is one of the problems with this dynamic calculation crap within Excel. I deleted book 1. The problem here is this crap is still within the cache. I don't know how to fix it. Because book 1 doesn't exist, this should throw an error. And it's not throwing an error. The correct answer should be 160. It should throw an error because sum of D4 to D15 is right here. C3, wholesale D3, we know that without book 1, we can go back to wholesale and we know that's $13. So keep that in mind. It's a bug, and it's a serious bug. If I shut my computer down, maybe the cache will clear. Maybe if I shut all of Excel down, I'll try that. All right, only after shutting down Excel and then restarting did it throw the errors. I don't know if it's something internally on my system, but if you find your worksheets aren't adding up correctly, perhaps you deleted a workbook or maybe a worksheet and the recalc wasn't correct. Save often and shut down Excel occasionally if you're doing references. This is something new. Typically in the past, whenever I had a problem like this, I would get this reference immediately whenever a workbook was deleted. In terms of working with workbooks, if this workbook, book 1, was saved, it doesn't have to be reopened to recalculate. If for some reason, let's say this was book 1 and for whatever reason you changed this sum to D11, it would still work without opening up book 1. Just keep that in mind.
Brad Williams, Excel Prime. Thanks for watching.